You are watching Light of Bichwa or listening on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, or Castbox, or watching on YouTube or the Groton channel. I hope you have enjoyed the previous parts with Professor Ibrahim Özdemir. And this is part 3, and let me know what you think about him, his work, and whatever he has said so far in the part 1 and 2. And I hope you will enjoy part 3 with him as well. So do visit my website, lightofbichwa.com, or any comments you want to leave on any of the episodes or the podcasts. I would really appreciate it. So stay tuned for more after this. Thank you. And I just meant to make sure. Okay. Is overconsumption the critical environmental challenge, as you had mentioned in your one of your articles, I think?
Yeah.
What do you mean by overconsumption?
Just remember when the term sustainability entered in our language, in currency, and it has been used since then in the media and everywhere. Sustainable economy, sustainable education, sustainable lifestyles, sustainable energy. Why? We just discovered that everything has a limit.
Yes.
Oceans, seas, natural resources. Yes. Therefore, we cannot pursue an unsustainable life on a limited earth and with limited resources. Mm-hmm. Thus, the Enlightenment's illusion and dream of limitless progress and development is collapsed. There is no limitless development. There is a limit for everything. So, this basic fact, this is scientific fact. And it is mentioned in the Quran very, very, very clearly. As God created everything has a limit, because the only limitless being is God.
Yes.
Is the creator. So we have to, in our mentality, this is the reason behind why even you are using water for ablution, you cannot overuse it.
Yes.
You see, there is a limit for everything. So if there is a limit for everything, I have to care about, I have to rethink about my conception patterns, conception habits, conception lifestyle. We should not be victimized by the ads with the manipulation of media on our mind to buy this, to use this, yes. To use this. We have to think for ourselves, for nature, and also think about the impact of our lifestyles for the future generations.
Mm-hmm. So use as much needed. Don't overuse it.
Yes, okay. Yes. Islam does not, or culture does not say don't use it. It says use it reasonably.
Yes, and take the minimalist style of life.
Yeah.
As minimum, as needed. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because even psychologists there is a lot of arguments. Your happiness, your well-being is not depends on how much you use. Depends how much you understand yourself. Yes. You connect yourself. You discover your abilities. You improve. You nurture your abilities to be a good human being. To be a good. Otherwise, if you are selfish, if you are greedy, so even you will not care about your children. This is another major problem. But environmentalism is also teach us not to be greedy, not to be selfish, to overcome from our selfishness and to think about the environment, future generation, other people's, animals, etc. Because we are all connected. We cannot live without sun, without clean air, without clean water. So we cannot live also without people and animals.
Yeah. So we share the earth. So that's why we are connected.
We have to live together. Yeah. We have to find a means. We have to improve our dialogue. Yeah.
Okay. So I read your article on
Yeah.
Muhammad Iqbal and on the Islamic ethics, I think.
Yeah.
So it was interesting how you brought the aspect of his writing, his metaphysics, and the reconstruction of Islamic thought. No, sorry, I'll say it again.
Reconstruction of Islamic thought.
Yeah, that is what it is. Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And I really want to thank you because he is the poet and philosopher, and what a thinker he was for the subcontinent. And he has gone also beyond borders
Yeah.
since he was existing.
I have been reading him since high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So
can you say something about him and his work, how you brought it into the environmental and climate topic?
Yeah, Muhammad Iqbal, Allama Muhammad Iqbal is presented to us in Turkey as a great poet and thinker and philosopher of Muslim history, not from Pakistan.
Yeah.
But we don't feel it is a Pakistani. We just feel it is one of us. Yes. This is why we all his books and poems is translated into Turkish. Yeah. And I think it is more read in Turkey than other Muslim countries. Yeah, because when I visited many countries, in some countries they don't know him. Yes, but from high school, I know him. I'm trying to understand him. And for example, the advice he has given to his son, Javed,
yes,
I also took to myself.
Oh.
I benefited a lot from his wisdom to his son. But when I started to work on environmental philosophy, I revisit Iqbal and his poetry and his philosophical works. And it was awesome. It was so deep. I just discovered that he discovered the layers of meaning both in the Quran and in the book of nature. And it just only a poet, a gifted poet, can express this so eloquently. We have to use, we have to understand each word he chose in his poetry to understand, to appreciate the layers of meaning. So when we look at nature, when we look at ourselves through the poetry and works of Iqbal, we can see how nature is rich, how we are reconnected with the universe, how we are reconnected through the universe with Allah, with God. So everything is changed around us. Although in his days he was over-occupied with the independence movement, with the political problems, etc., but still we are all live on the earth. In our daily lives, we have interaction with the sun, with the stars, with the water, with the seas and oceans, with the animals, birds. So how they are reflected in his poetry is amazing. Yes. We can see the inspiration he's getting from the Quran, from the Islamic legacy, and with putting his stamp, poetic stamp on them.
Mm-hmm. So you think he is still relevant today?
Sure.
Okay.
Only we have to read him with a fresh mind.
Okay.
Not with many people they are reading him for political agendas. Yes, Pakistan and India and Bangladesh, they are independent countries. But when we look at when we try to understand how he perceives the nature, the universe, or psyche, the Hudi,
yes.
Hudi, what Hudi means, what the ego means, what the I-ness means, what the universe means. He has a lot to teach us on these issues.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
In your experience, have you met any youth that you feel that you have been encouraged by meeting them or their thought process in this area? Or do you think that you need to suggest something from your experience? I mean, I know you have grandchildren. I am sure when you go to your talks and everything, do you meet youth in order for you to give us some perspective on that world? Because I know that older generation did what they did, right?
Yeah.
So how do we fill the gap between the current generation and the past in order for us to join hands together and move for this issue that we have, the environmental issue, the climate change issue?
You know, I'm got emotional with this question because just 2 years ago I've been invited to Cape Town to
Cape Town.
Cape Town for a keynote speech, and I was there. A young lady who has a PhD. He presented her paper, and she said, 15 years ago, I was an undergrad student at the Cape Town University, and Professor Ibrahim visited our university and gave us a lecture on environmental ethics, Islamic environmental ethics, and how Islam presents us the environment ecology. I never heard and thought up to this date about the connection of Islam and with the environment and ecology. On that day, I decided to study environment. Now, it is after 15 years, Ibrahim Özdemir is here, and I am holding a PhD in environmental studies.
Very nice. So you made an impact on a youth. So
yes, yes, I said this is the Nobel Prize of a scholar.
Yes.
You see, I gave a lecture there.
Yeah.
Then I left.
Yes.
Wherever I go, I try to reach the young people, young minds.
Yeah.
The last one was in Maldives.
Okay.
In September, the Islamic University of Maldives invited me to give a lecture on Islamic perception of environment. And also I made a workshop on critical thinking, and also another workshop on the sharing knowledge, etc. But the young people so interested in my talk, even the Minister of Environment. Then we decided to make a documentary about the richness of Maldives, especially coral reefs,
yes,
and oceanary and marine ecology. And they took me, we got a flight for 1 hour and a half to the south. Even we go beyond the Ecuador.
Yes.
And the undersea, the richness of undersea, it was gorgeous,
Yes.
So these young people, I can see from their eyes how the hope for the future. Even the Mr. Minister, told to the audiences, Professor Özdemir changed my perception about environment in a dramatic way. Because I just asked them some questions, from the Quran. Why Quran is emphasizing this and this and this? When these verses revealed to the Prophet Muhammad in Mecca, many Muslims, they haven't seen a sea, an ocean, a fish. There were desert people. Yes. Although there were some traveling people, they were bringing news about the seas, about the fish, etc. But as the desert dwellers, it was not it was not on their table, as it was in Maldives. So it just shows the global message of the Quran, the universal message of the Quran. They are included in the message. That because Quran mentions the coral reefs, and also knows a lot of things about the sea, the richness of sea life. So I think what we need, to present the young people. I'm just trying to tell them, respect your elders, But when it comes to science, it just be like a trees, spread your hopes, spread your horizon to the future, not to the past.
Yes.
Take your inspiration from the past, from the history, but don't let history to imprison you.
Good.
Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
This is why I am also teaching a critical thinking course at Üsküdar University, and also I had a workshop about critical thinking in Maldives too. By critical thinking, I emphasize we have to look at nature also as everything from a fresh perspective, from a wider perspective, not from a selfish perspective.
Yes.
What it would mean if you got your diploma in your hand, you will get a job for yourself. Is that all your ambitions, your goal in life, or you are ready? You got the needed talents and information how to handle with the nature, with other people, how you can contribute to the globe, not only for yourself. What can you do for others, for nature? You see?
Yes.
I always encourage my students when they are coming to my class. I ask them what they do on their way to my class. if they see a cat, if they see a dog, if they see a bird, if they see an elder man or woman, or if they handicapped man and woman, what they would do. If they make an unselfish attitude, I give them a positive grades.
So do they give you any interesting answers? Do you have any examples that you can share?
Yes.
One or two?
Yes.
Just for our audience?
For example, 3 of my students, they visited a school, primary school, in a poor section of Istanbul. In a cold day like this, it was snowing, and they just witnessed many students, they don't have socks in their feet, and their shoes is having water. It is, and they don't have enough clothes warm, keep them warm.
Mm-hmm.
And they never thought this will be happening in Istanbul.
Yes.
Because they were coming from, families, they can afford all these things. And just one of these girls, he went home in tears and told his family. And his father was a businessman. He just sent the other day, enough clothing and shoes to all these schools. Then I show them just not to expect everything from the state. You can do something.
That's very important. Repeat that, please.
Yes,
that shouldn't expect.
Don't expect everything from others and from the state, from your prime minister, your Mr. Prime Minister, or Mr. President, etc. Do something for yourself. You are the president.
Yeah.
You see. So if they feed a cat, if they feed a dog on their way to my class, I appreciate them.
Yes.
If they just send a handicapped man or woman to cross the street, I said that's fantastic. I appreciate them. So we are, learning with the life, with the real problems, not only from the books.
Yes. Yes.
Also, we have to make good and ethical decisions when we solve a problem. See what I must do.
So how can we do that? So it has to be from the home. How we have to equip this, as you said, it has to start from school, right? It has to start early.
Yeah.
But then the parents have to be equipped to start at home, have the sense to start in school, encourage, because schools don't really, now they do little talk about, some here and there. But
Sure.
Yes.
Many, especially ladies in Istanbul, when they leave in the morning for job, they carry some food in their bag for the cats. Oh. And also many of my students know they are doing the same thing. When they are having their breakfast at home, they also put something in their bag for cats and dogs on their way to the school. So just, we have to change our mentality.
Yes.
We have to open our eyes and ears to see the problems around us, to people who needs us or help. Any small help, anything can make a change in somebody's life.
Yes. So the message would be to live consciously, have a conscious living, and have some conscious parenting going on.
Yes.
That is my topic of my podcast. Okay, thank you. Thank you for all what you said.